So what I want you to do is, let me get my. All right. So here is what we're doing. Today is Friday, February the 25th. Okay. We are going to go through and define these terms based off of your results from USA Test Prep yesterday. Okay. One of the areas that you all scored the lowest in was writing. So what we're going to do is when we finish with this, we're going to look at your USA Test Prep. Okay. And we are going to start working through your red dots and turning them green. Before we do that, though, I know that this is an area that we need to focus on. So we're going to define these words together. All right. And then you are going to have a vocabulary test on these words on Tuesday. Now, you have to type them with me and turn your copy in. Okay? For time purposes, I am going to provide you my typed copy because if I were to go in and try to print every one of your documents, I would be here for a couple hours. Okay? So, all you have to do to earn a 100 is to do the assignment with me. All right. And the purpose of you typing it is so that hopefully you will read it as you type it and something will sink into your brain. All right. Again, we have two screens going up in this classroom. Okay. I am going to be actively typing on one, and then the other one is there if you were to get behind to help you catch up. Okay. All right. Is everybody with me? Does everybody understand what we're doing? All right, so cause and effect. All right, this is a relationship between two or more events in which one event brings about another. All right, example, liver failure. Okay, the cause of liver failure could be drinking excessively. The effect of drinking um, excessively is going to be liver failure and the possibility of needing a liver transplant. Zoom out. All right. Central idea. Okay. Central idea. This is also like the main idea. Okay. All right. It is the key point made in a passage is called its central idea. Before I type chronological order, somebody in here tell me what that means. What? Chronological order. Something that's put in order. By what though? Usually, huh? What happens from the beginning to the end, okay? All right, so this is the arrangement of events in the order in which they occur. Now, if you make a claim to somebody, what are you doing? If you claim something, then that means that you feel really strongly about it or you have knowledge about it to state your facts and to persuade someone to feel the same way you do, or to make them feel the same, or make them believe what you believe. Okay? So claim is when an author makes a claim or claims she or he is stating something which might or might not be true. It must be argued. When you compare and you contrast something, you are comparing things that are similar, and you are comparing things that are. You're doing what? You're comparing things that are similar and things that are. Hello? When you are comparing. Different. Thank you. Okay, so. All right, this method examines, or this method examines the similarities and differences between two or more objects in a piece of work. All right, now when you are writing or trying to argue something, okay, one person has a viewpoint of A and another person has a viewpoint of B. That B person is going to try to say that A is wrong. Okay? Huh? Yeah. And y'all. Okay. And that's what's wrong with the world. All right. Counterclaim. This is a verbal or oral response to an argument presenting an opposite viewpoint. I can write this way faster than I can type it. Counterclaim. This is a verbal or I messed up. You slow down just a little bit. All right, counter argument. This is an argument that makes an opposing point to another argument. It expresses the view of a person who disagrees with your position. All right, so as Blaze just pointed out, we don't always have the same viewpoints. All right, an introduction. I feel like everybody knows this one really well. Okay, an introduction does what? Introduces. Okay, this is the beginning of a written work that explains what will be found in the main part. What did I spell wrong? Where? It's no. It should be who disagrees with your position. Oh, counterclaim. Which screen are you looking at? Oh, is that better?
Green Berry. On the second one. Counterclaim. Opposite viewpoint. F1. Here. Okay. Yeah. The viewpoint at the very end of the sentence.
Okay, a letter. All right, this is a written communication or message addressed to a reader or readers that is usually sent by mail. Logic. Reasoning used to reach a decision based on a set of assumptions. Or it may be defined as the science of reasoning,
Slow down.
proof, thinking, or inference.
Zoom out so I can see. Hers.
All right, logical. All right, this refers to a reasonable and sensible arrangement of ideas and details. All right, logical refers to a reasonable and sensible arrangement of ideas and details. This is how you think. All right, or the process in which you think. Hmm. All right, main idea is very similar to the central idea. Okay. It's the most important idea of a reading passage or presentation. Okay. What is the presentation or passage about? Order of importance happens when a writer, okay, or a person tries to organize details by the degree of impact. All right, this means what is more important than the other. Okay? Organization. All right, this process of ordering, in writing, there is a process of ordering, structuring, and presenting the information. Okay, so when we write, we want to make sure that we order our writing, structure our writing, and present the information. All right, persuasive text. What does the word persuade mean? Y'all are pretty good at this.
No, we're not.
We won't be doing this very good.
Y'all are pretty good at being persuading or persuasive.
I mean, I really just.
Yeah, let's not do it then.
Why we doing this?
Persuasion is when you try to get someone to do what you want them to do. Okay? Now, this attempts to convince a reader to adopt a particular opinion or course of action.
If you have the copies, then why are we talking this?
I explained that when we started. There's multiple reasons why I'm having you type. Number one, it's going to build your technology skills and your typing skills. Number two, you're interacting with the words and the definitions. If I hand you a piece of paper, more than likely, more than half of you are not going to read this paper or even bother to look at it. And then you're going to come in here and you're going to sit down and you're going to click through a test. So at least by doing what I'm doing now, I know that you are somewhat interacting with what I need for you to do. Now, what you do with it after this point, I don't know. But I can only do so much.
Can you scroll up so I can see his name? Because I can't see because all these people's heads.
Problem solution. All right, it's a method of structuring the text in which a problem is presented and then an answer. I'm going to say a remedy is given. What is another word for remedy? I really just gave you the answer before I said it because I was typing one word and I changed it. What is a synonym for remedy? An answer to the problem or a way to fix it. A solution. All right, a speech. All right, this is a talk or public address. People give speeches at conferences, meetings. You somewhat gave a speech on your Alabama Moon project. All right, a thesis.
Can you scroll up like a lot? Yep, right there.
Can anybody remember going over a thesis earlier in the year? We did. And even when we did our Alabama Moon research project, we talked about a thesis statement because I made you pick a topic. And then from that topic, I made you identify 3 main points that you wanted to talk about in your project. Okay. You essentially wrote a thesis at that time. All right. When I set up that basic paragraph template when we did our discussion boards, Okay, you had to write pretty much a thesis statement, a sentence at the beginning telling me what your paragraph was going to be about. All right? So, a thesis is the main point or central idea that a writer states and then explains to prove his or her thesis.
You spelled something wrong on topic, like bad. You put SOMEHTING.
Jesus Christ.
All right, topic. The subject of something you read is called its topic. Somebody tell me what the word vivid means. That you can do what? Vision. Viv.
Yeah, where you like to see something?
See something what?
Visual.
Clearly. Okay, you can see something clearly. All right, so vivid language is going to be language that creates a strong impression on the reader, often through visual, sound, or emotional expressions. All right, it's clear language, precise. All right, word choice is another way of saying diction. Okay, it helps in 3 ways. 1, it reveals the tone of the work. 2, it reveals connotations of meaning. And 3, it reveals the author's style of writing.
You spell language wrong.
Language too.
She put one though. She spelled something wrong.
All right, when you finish this, okay, you are going to turn in, submit. Put your name on it up at the top where it says student name. Type your name. All right, type your name where it says student name. If I moved, you shouldn't be having a connection because there's another screen that has the information on it. All right, when you finish, make sure that your name is on it. You are going to click turn in, submit. And then once you get that done, I want you to go to USA Test Prep.
No.
Shh. All right, so basically what we're going to do is we're going to go through some of these videos in USA Test Prep. Now,
Yeah, they don't allow us to watch them.
okay, so we're going to watch them together. What I want you to do, though, is you're going to have to follow through with me. All right.
That thing is rocking.
What kind of grocery store you look at?
I hope this place
All right, listen, what I want you to do right now is I need this to go away. Anybody see how to get that to go away?
Yeah. James.
All right, so what I want you to do is go up here. You should have classroom resources. All right, and I want you to click on 8th grade ELA. All right, classroom resources, 8th grade ELA. Make sure that you are in the classic version and not the beta version. All right, make sure that you are in the classic version, not the beta version.
I just said practice.
All right, practice is good. Shh. All right, I'm going to slow down just a little because some of you are not even on USA Test Prep just yet. All right. Right now, all I need for you to do is follow the steps that I am taking. I don't need... I'm trying to get to that point. Okay? All right? Just wait a second.
Put that grocery store up.
Stop.
Quit playing.
Stop. All right, so because I am recording this, I cannot log in as a student and show you exactly what I want to show you, but when I stop recording, I will. Okay, when you click on practice, though, it's going to give you, when you click on practice up at the top, it's going to give you the 8th grade ELA ACAP course of study. All right, and it's also going to give you, Alan, I told you to go into classic view. Okay, it's going to pull up what you've taken, what you know, and what you do not know. Classic. There is a red dot at the top that says classic. Okay, and then I want you to go to 8th grade ELA. Classic up at the top. Classic at the top, and then I want you to go to practice up at the top. Practice up at the top. When you click on practice,
Go to that.
When you click on practice,
Y'all listen.
Yes, he does. He says like feet retarded. Those are.
Get the practice. I have
Yeah, I got this.
alright, I'm not moving on until your mouth is closed and I have your attention. Okay? You know what? Your mama can hear everything you're saying.
I haven't even done nothing.
I'm just saying, I've asked y'all to be quiet. Now, when you look at this, you have domains, which is going to be reading literature, reading informational text, writing, and language, okay? And then each domain has standards. If you have a green dot, that means that you have passed that standard. You have a yellow dot, that means that you're on your way to passing that standard. And if you have like a magenta, pink, red dot, that means that you don't have a clue what you're doing. Okay? So, what we are about to do, this is where doing what you were supposed to do yesterday and trying your absolute best, reading the questions, reading the passages that needed to be read would have benefited you. Because if you would have, you wouldn't have as many red dots. But some of you have made the comment, it was just practice. Why should we have to do our best on practice? Well, number one, I told you that it was going to go in the grade book. Okay, and it is going to go in the grade book. Number two, practice does make perfect. Alright, I don't expect you to be perfect on the ACAP, but I expect better than what I'm getting.
You trying to
What was
fail
that?
everybody? So you're trying to fail everybody?
See, I
Nobody
most of
made
the time
good.
got
Yeah,
above
so you're
that.
saying you're trying to fail everybody?
Alright.
So you're saying you're trying to fail everybody?
Alright, so
You feeling it first.
what I want you to do is I want you to scroll down to the domain writing. Alright, it's going to be W.81A, introduce claims. W.8.1A, introduce claims. Okay? Alright, and most of us in here have a red dot on that. I want you to click the red dot, and when you click the red dot, you're going to have four things pull up that say videos, vocabulary, questions, and performance tasks. Then you didn't follow my directions. Listen, let me say this one more time. First of all, I have students that are turned around in their seats that should be facing the front. Number two, I have stated numerous times, do not blurt out. I'm not asking you right now your opinion. Okay? I'm not asking your opinion. Right now, I'm telling you what I need for you to do. Right now, I don't care if you have already investigated this on your own, but we are about to investigate it together as a group. Everybody should have on their screen right now where it says videos, practice vocabulary, questions, and performance tasks for the standard writing W.8.1. Now, you are not going to be able to watch the video on your screen because for some reason, it is not allowing you to watch the videos on your Chromebook. But what it will allow you to do is to answer the question. So I am going to play the video as a whole class, and then you are going to answer the questions individually. It will grade you based off of correctness. If you miss an answer, then you have to go back and re-watch the video until you get the answer correct. This should be motivation and incentive So pay attention to the video the first time. All right.
Morty's got a green dot. Still just.
If you have a green dot, then you're good in that area. That is why I am walking you through the steps of how to do this, because we are all at different stages in this classroom. No one is on the same track.
So I don't do
All right?
If I got a green dot, I don't
If you have a green dot, then you're not. Well, right now, if you have a green dot, you're still going to work through this with us, okay? But I am walking you through how to do this because you are going to work through some of these independently. All right, we're going to restructure class again to where we do your ACAT bell ringer or Moby Math. And then we're going to move to one grammar lesson, and then we're going to move to language. But this right here is going to factor in to your bell ringers. Okay? Do I make myself clear in everything that I'm saying so far? Right now, all I'm doing is showing you how to remediate yourself and change your red dots or yellow dots to green dots. It is not cool to have a red dot. Okay, it is not cool to have a red dot. All right. Shh.
Oh, you have a green dot.
What is the grade?
That they haven't taken it yet.
Yes.
All right, here we go. Videos. So for each standard, you have a certain number of videos that you're going to have to watch. So for W8.1A, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 videos. Okay? Now, I want to show you something. You need to choose me, and then you also need to choose what period you are in. And then you're going to click begin. Now, if for some reason you can't remember what the video says, do you see these words right here where it says show transcript? You can click on that, and it's actually going to tell you everything that the video says. So this will help you when you go back to answer your questions. Okay? Now, I've already gone over the fact that for some reason you cannot see the video on your screen, but I am putting it up for the whole class to see. Okay? Now, I'm not going to be able to do this for every single standard again because we're all at different stages. Okay? It's fine. All right, here we go.
This video will talk about the importance of diction. The word diction simply means word choice, or the words that an author chooses to use. The specific words that an author chooses to use are considered the most important part of an author's style. Authors choose their words based upon their intended audience. Diction can be described in many ways. It can be plain or elaborate, comical or serious, formal or informal. For example, if you were writing for an audience of scientific experts, you would choose words that could be described as technical, precise, formal, or objective. For example, this sentence uses a high level of diction, formal words, and tone. It reads, "Our research reveals that there is a correlation between student engagement in learning and the real-world relevance of their curriculum." But if you were writing for an audience made up of your friends, you would choose words that could be described as short, informal or casual, simple, or even slangy. For example, this is the type of sentence you might say to your friends. "The movie was all right, I guess, but I probably would have enjoyed seeing something else." We see slang words like all right and casual language like I guess and Diction is all about choosing the absolutely perfect word. The word with the right meaning, with the right connotation, and for the right audience.
All right, so you have on your screen,
I ain't gotta do it if it's green, right?
but right now what I'm telling you is that we're all doing it. Okay, so you have 3 questions. You need to go back and you need to answer those questions. Now, I told you that if you can't remember what the video says, then you need to click down here where it says show transcript.
We can retake it if we get everything wrong.
If you get everything wrong, then you have to rewatch the video. This is not something that you can click through.
No, it ain't. I'm not committed.
But don't forget that it gives me your average or your grade the first time.
100%.
Okay, so good. If you get it right, all right, we're going to go back. And you click continue, and then you're going to write, you're going to do irrelevant details. We're going to click begin. All right, irrelevant details. We're going to click begin. You're going to go to Brittany Wheelis. You're going to choose your class. All right, and then you're going to click begin. Now, I'm going to play the video for you all.
When you write, your teacher or whoever you're writing for expects you to include details, sometimes a lot of details. That's really what makes writing great, those details. It kind of paints a picture for you. But you have to be careful not to get too carried away and include details that seem kind of out of place or don't fit or inappropriate or maybe just too many of them, and sometimes meaning they're not really needed in the first place. So we have a very basic paragraph here. I want to be an athlete. Sports are my passion. My other passion is noodles. I will work hard and practice. As you can see, the paragraph is really wanting to tell you about how this person wants to be an athlete and how sports are really important to this person. So we're trying to figure out if everything fits and flows together and makes sense, but clearly there's one sentence that sticks out to you like, what in the world's going on here? And that, of course, is my other passion is noodles. It may be tasty, but it doesn't at all relate to wanting to be an athlete.
You are not
or
devoted
sports.
to what we're doing.
You should just take that paragraph or that sentence out of the paragraph because it's completely distracting. It just doesn't belong. So when you're proofreading or writing something, make sure that every sentence, every detail is there for a reason. It has an impact for the overall meaning. And if it doesn't seem to fit, or if it's out of place, take it out.
All right. Did you miss some questions? Go back. All right. So again, if you can't remember what the video said, you can go back and view the transcript. All right. You only have 3 questions. Huh? Okay. That means you missed something. No? Okay. Good. All right. So when you finish this video, or these questions, you're going to click the back button.
I have to sit here a minute.
All right, and then we're going to click continue. And it tells you up here at the top you have watched or completed 2 out of 9. Okay? Now, logic and writing, we're going to click begin. All right, and then we're going to watch the video. Shh.
Logic is an important aspect for all successful written arguments. Logic is a system of analysis used by writers to invent, demonstrate, and prove their arguments. Logic also allows for writers to test their claims to prove their accuracy. One of the most common types of proof is called the syllogism. It is a 3-part logic statement. Here's an example from Socrates. Premise 1, all men are mortal. Premise 2, Socrates is a man. The conclusion is premise 3, that Socrates himself is mortal. Just because you use a 3-pronged logic statement, however, does not necessarily mean it will be clear to your audience. Make sure that each of your premises are clearly stated and that you are providing evidence for each logic statement and then drawing a clear connection to your conclusion.
I knew the answer, so like the answer was argued, like,
All right, so that video is over. Show transcript. All right, listen. Logic is used to invent, prove, or demonstrate what? All right, if I were you, I would go back down here and I would look. All right, it's a system of analysis used by writers to invent, demonstrate, and prove their arguments. All right, so logic is used to demonstrate what? Argument. All right, the speaker shows a blank as an example of a proof. What does the speaker show as an example? All right. One of the most common types of proof is called the syllogism. All right, it is a 3-part logic statement. So what is your answer here? Number 3, the person mentioned in the syllogism is Aristotle, Socrates, or Plato. If you can't remember, go back and look. Socrates. And then you go up here and you click submit. Now, this is what I need for you to know, okay? I'm going to click the back button. Here is another reason why these are important. The videos are just step 1. All right, after you finish the videos for each thing that you have missed, we're going to go back and do the vocabulary. Now, we started defining the vocabulary today, and you are going to have a test on those words on Tuesday. Okay? Then, once you finish the vocabulary, you're going to proceed to the next step, which is practice questions. When you finish practice questions, then you'll proceed to the next step, which is performance task. All right? So there is a process that we are going to have to take to get you to where you need to be before we take the actual ACAP in April. Now, before we take the real test, you are going to do another mock ACAP. So what we did on Wednesday and Thursday, we will repeat that process again, probably before we get out for spring break.
Who's that?
All right? So, I hear you say a whole lot about can we have a free day, and this is what I'm going to tell you about that. There will be no free days from now until spring break, especially if you don't meet me in the middle and do what I need you to do in class. Okay? Right now, what I hear are a lot of reasons why you shouldn't have to do this. But I need for you to change your mindset and think about why you should need to do this. Okay? Huh? Really? Okay. We'll work on that. All right. So for today, I am going to log out and stop the recording.